Hello, everyone. Welcome to my universe. So I think this is the first time where I do not feel like I need to make any adjustments to the face right now. I still might revisit it a little bit later, but I actually think it's looking pretty good today. So that was nice. Unfortunately, I do think I need to make some adjustments to the arm here. I think it is still a little bit too skinny, and I think I made the hand a little bit too small. So I'll go ahead and start with that. I keep going back and forth on whether or not the hand is too small. The joy of having things kind of bent. it can complicate the proportions sometimes. Oh, I appear to have some pixel dirt somewhere. I sure do. Nope. I want to get rid of some of that. There we go. Still got a little bit more over here, apparently. We good? I think we're good. Excellent. This just makes the transform a little bit more accurate and also makes it so this way I won't have weird flecks of stuff later. I do not like having to hunt down weird flecks of stuff in various places. Never a good time. Is it just a matter of the fingers being a little bit too long again? Because this palm looks a lot better, but now the fingers look huge again, so... fix one thing. Another problem crops up. It's fine. It's fine. I always feel like this kind of thing just kinda comes with the territory. Where... yeah, you fix one thing and then suddenly you notice new problems, but... You know, I kind of prefer being able to notice the problems. I do feel like half of art is having enough a general understanding and muscle memory. Maybe less so muscle memory, but general understanding that you can put things together pretty quickly, and then the other half is just the ability to spot problems. I think I might have made the fingers a little bit too short now. Let me fix that. Because, yeah, this part should be a little bit longer than this part, I think, since this part is kind of bent a little. So that makes sense to my brain. And this top finger is a little bit... it needs to be a little bit shorter relative to the bottom, so I can't just conveniently move them both at the same time. Gotta do it separately. Alright. How does that feel? Is that a little bit better now? Yeah, I think so. Now the fingers don't look quite so long. I think that the palm is a little bit thick up top, but otherwise fine. So I'll just fix that right through here. I'll just slim it down a little bit. I'll even add just a little bit of a curve right here. And I'm not worried about bringing it into the sleeve because I think her arm is too small too, so I need to make that a little bit bigger as well. I've been debating on how I want to handle that. Okay, I think I know how I will approach it. I always hate when I have to do stuff like this, but, you know, such is life. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take half of it, and I'm just gonna move it out. Oops, wrong layer. There we go. I'm just gonna move it out. And then I'll fill in the gaps and repaint everything once I think it's in a good spot. I think I need to do just a little bit of that on this side too, just so the hand over here tucks into the sleeve a little bit better. So it's going to be in a few pieces until I fix it, but I think, you know, just pretend like this hole is a seam in her sleeve or something. I already think that's looking a little bit better. So, you know, that bodes well for when I actually fix it all up. Alright, so what I'm really hoping to get done for today, I'd like to get this skirt part totally done. And if I'm lucky and have enough time, maybe I can do the legs too. Because, well, and of course here. Here is actually going to come before both the skirt part and the legs. But we'll see how that goes. Because, you know, once I get that done, that's going to make things real close to actually being finished. I still got to get this arm. I keep forgetting it exists. I keep thinking of it as, like, separate from her somehow. It's just like, oh yeah, there's just an arm there. Don't worry about it. That's not actually part of Katya, right? So no. I gotta get that too. So probably won't actually finish everything today, but I can probably get pretty close. I'll do my best. Look, I'm just really looking forward to getting into the science. Oops. Of just how can I make the clothes look soft and nice and pleasant. Use a few less hard edges here. And get some of those nice gradations and look at my artist senpai for inspiration, because I love the way he draws clothes. I think his clothes just look super fantastic. Just the kind of thing that just looking at him makes me happy, honestly. There's a reason I'm referencing him. Even though I don't even know his name. I remember looking at it once, but it was in Chinese, and I did not know how to pronounce it. Unfortunately, my ability to read Chinese is, quite poor. Maybe I'll work on it someday, but probably not anytime soon. And then I'll just, you know, adjust all these little folds here again. Just kind of reconstruct things as I keep going. It's easy enough to do, fortunately. I actually kind of don't like that one. I'll let it kind of come down a bit. All right. Yeah. And then I should be able to get this all pretty smooth. I don't think I'm gonna smooth out the hand much. Well, maybe I will. I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I want to smooth out the hand much just yet. But maybe I do, since it does kind of affect the things under here. But no. I think I understand it well enough that I can get started there. Or maybe I'll just do the skirt part, since it is kind of separate from the top here. It's coming out of the belt. So, yeah, you know what? I'll work on the skirt part a little bit first. The reason that I was having this debate with myself is one of the things that I like to do is I just kind of start with the areas on top. So that's why I rendered out the hair first before doing any of this, because it's on top of the sleeve. And the nice thing about doing it like that is once I know the area that it's going to occupy, I know that I can just completely ignore everything underneath it. So because I know the hair is here, I don't have to worry about any of the arm that's underneath the hair here. I don't have to shade it at all. I don't have to care. And it just makes things nice and easy, and I like that. It saves me some effort. I definitely had a problem when I was a little bit more of a baby artist with hiding layers and then over rendering the parts underneath. So I made a really strong point to never do that. Stop doing that entirely. And it's been helpful. It has. So because I know where this hair is, I also know where the cast shadows are gonna go on it, and we're gonna get some stuff like this. They're pretty close. I picture the arm kind of brushing it out of the way, so I'm keeping the cast shadows pretty small, but nonetheless, I know where they are, and I can just kind of draw them. It's very nice. And it just brings everything one step closer to completion in a way that's very, very easy to understand. Very easy to do. And I do want to get everything here just perfectly smooth. So that this way, once everything is done, it'll look really good. And let's see. Alright, so let's see here. I don't quite like the way the elbow looks. I think it's a little bit too wrinkly. So let's tone down some of these wrinkles here. I think what I'll do is something like this. Well, we'll put this kind of fold in there. I think that'll look good. Then I'll just adjust this one a little bit to compensate for the small change I made there. And hopefully that'll make this look a little bit less wrinkly. It's like it's an elbow. I want it to look a little wrinkly, but there are limits. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Actually, even then, I think I want this part to be a little flatter. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And I think that the hand is looking much better. The arm doesn't feel quite so thin. My characters must be strong, so I don't like to give them noodle arms. That is just personal taste right there. But I'm gonna go look away from this part for a second, so before I start worrying about, you know, her torso area here, I'm gonna go ahead and do the skirt part. And once I'm pretty sure that I like all of this, I'll go through, I'll fix up the hand, and then I can do this part. And I think that the skirt is a excellent thing to work on while I'm trying to figure that out. So the way that I picture the structure of this, it's a little bit hard to read right now. But for the most part, it's got these red frills. And then in certain places, there are black ones too. And then this gold part is just gold trim on the edge of the red frills. The black frills don't get that. They get glitter instead, because glitter makes everything better. Always put glitter on things. So I think that the way I want to go about this, I'm gonna hide the trim for now, since that is just a part of the red. And I don't think I have this very structurally sound right now, you know, as expected when I'm just scribbling to make things look nice. Not to make things look nice, but to get things started. And then for this back part here, I don't really want to get rid of it because it kind of helps me understand the structure of the skirt a little bit. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this really dark color here, the part that I'm using for the darkest shadows, and I'm going to plop that in. And that'll kind of define the back, and I actually do kind of want to keep it that color. It wasn't really relevant until now, but now I'm here trying to make this part look nice. Okay, and once again, I had to draw something with a, a floppy structure like this. For some reason, my brain just does not comprehend stuff like that, and I don't get it. I don't understand why my brain finds it so hard, but it sure does. So here we go. Oh man, I'm already terrified. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and hide that. I'm just gonna try to focus on the red part. I do see them, the red and the black parts, as being totally separate. And with this, I think I would actually like to get rid of everything red around it, just so I can see a little bit better. So we'll get rid of the cape, and we'll get rid of the hand. She'll be handless for a second, don't worry. She'll get it back. Alright. So I liked the amount of frills that I had. This isn't a whole lot, but I think that was fine. I think just leaving it as what is essentially 2 frills should be fine. So we have this, and then it comes out, and we'll loop around on the side here. Something like that. And then I think at this angle, we'll also see something kind of like this. I'm not sure about the shadows yet. I don't think that this side should come out quite so hard. I want it to join not exactly dead center, but kind of on either side of this rose part on her belt there. That's how I've been picturing it in my head. And this part we don't worry about, because her hand is going to be there. I just needed to get rid of it for now. Continue to wish why I just, for the life of me, cannot understand structures like this. I don't get it! It doesn't seem like it's harder than anything else I draw, and yet my brain just melts anytime I look at it. So, I do apologize for the sizzling that is happening. Because I assure you, it is definitely happening. And I hate it. I do. It bothers me. Don't you just hate that feeling of just when you feel like you should be better at something, but you're just not? And that expectation just does not meet up with reality at all? The worst. Okay. So at this stage, when I was drawing these frills, I drew them, kind of facing upward, because I figured that our viewpoint is, I don't know, somewhere in the middle here. Horizon line, maybe like right there or something, somewhere around here. Actually, it's probably more like here, but at kind of like her waist. Maybe slightly lower than that, but somewhere around there. So these ones we kind of look up at, but here I actually think we mostly look down at them. So I want things to curve this way. To get curves this way instead of this way. Because we're looking kind of down at it. But I also don't picture these being entirely the same length all the way through. So it is very much, this kind of structure again. Where it goes down and then you get something like this. And in theory, you connect the inner and the outer parts, but for some reason, that is the part that I just don't quite understand. But I can work from what I do know, so I want to make sure that I have curves that go this way. And we keep the parts underneath that we do see kind of limited. And then how does it connect to the next layer? That's a good question. Planckera's brain is loading. Please stand by. Maybe it'll be easier if I look a little more at this side. Probably not, but I'm coping, okay. And then it comes down and we see the dark part there, so that's like the first pleat. And I do think that these are lining up okay. This side I think should still be a little bit lower though, because I want to keep that kind of angled look. This feels a little bit too flat. Especially given that her hips are tilted this way. You know, kind of this direction, following this line. So this side should be lower by default, and right now that they're pretty equal, so I think I need to drop this side a little bit or raise this side a little bit. Probably a little bit of both, actually. So let's respect the angle of the hips here. Well, I try not to fret. Alright, so this feels lower now, that maybe a little bit too low. And now I just need to lower this side. And then we put the dark spot in, and that feels a little bit more the same as this side. Now, how does it connect to the next layer? That is the question that I'm asking myself. So I don't picture there being too many layers here, but I do need to know how it kind of gets into the next one. Is it light? Is it dark? Maybe something like that, and then... So all of this should be connecting, like, up here? So maybe a straight line like this. Then we get the next red frill here. It kind of goes in and out again. And we get some more of the backside in there, and then this will roll into the back. So I'll just kind of cut that off. But I don't really feel like we see the next frill here correctly yet. You know what? Let's see if I can find a reference here, because I think this is just a layered skirt, right? Let's see if I can find something that actually looks right here. Yeah, none of these are at angles, though. I just don't know what these kinds of frills are called, so I have trouble looking up specific reference for it. What would I call it? Angled layered skirt? I don't know, man. Yeah, that's more what I would expect from something angled. Hey, chat, what do you call, you know, things that go like this? I guess I could also try it with veils. Veils are adjacent. Oh, is there such thing as a veil skirt? Sure, let's check it out. Yeah, so those are the kind of translucent kind, right? Yeah, not exactly what I'm looking for. Let's just see if I can find something with that's kind of adjacent to what I'm doing with a long veil. The translucency of them makes it a little bit hard. But I do see that idea in them quite often. Ooh, this one might work. We have the edge of the cloth there. Goes up and around. So let's see, I'm gonna... Oops. Give myself a little reference layer here, and I'm gonna break out the hot pink and see if I can draw it with lines. Not my forte, but sometimes it can be easier to understand like this. Okay, so if that's the edge, it'll flow into the next layer kind of like this. I'm just hoping that it'll make me overthink it a little bit less, because I am absolutely thinking way too hard here. I can change the whole thing. Don't worry about it. Don't be beholden to anything you just drew. You already hate it, so what's the worst that's gonna happen? You still hate it? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then... what, like this? Up into here. And then... this is the part that I tend to have trouble with. So, if we have it like this isn't flipping on top of this or anything. This is like a separate layer of skirt. So, what, do I just put shadows here? And then put a light here? And we have it like this? That doesn't feel right. And then this would obviously be shadowed. And this would be shadowed. And this would be shadowed. And then over here... skirt pleats, how do they work? Because, no, this is definitely not right either, right? Is it? Let me kind of follow my edges here. See if that makes it a little bit better, and then, what, we just have... because that's not right. And this is like the edge, so I guess I just pull it back all the way up, and I guess this one kind of goes through it, and it's like this underneath. And then I could add some more to make it shiny or something. Maybe if I make it a little neater, this will look okay? It is pretty messy. I just do not understand how these work at all, and it makes it really, really hard to draw it properly, you know? Really, really hard. Because drawing stuff kind of requires you to understand how they work. Okay, so if we do it from here... I kind of want to restart this part. So... because this doesn't hang out, right? This doesn't hang off. It all goes back up into here. And then, okay, but I am starting to see it a little bit. And then this kind of comes up into here. Okay, okay, just keep going. Just keep going, self. You're getting it. You're getting there. Slowly but surely, the structure is coming out. I'm starting to be able to see what it is I'm trying to do now. so awkward trying to draw things I don't understand. This is the only way you learn how to do it. You just do it repeatedly. Oh, yes, thank you. I agree. I'm glad I'm not crazy. I'm starting to see it. It's okay. Like I said, this is how you get good. You draw the thing repeatedly. And eventually something will click. And then I'll get it. And that'll be a great day. It'll be a fantastic day. The day I no longer have to flail at cute, frilly things like this, because I like drawing them, and I like the way they look. And it's great. I just need to draw them more. Just need to draw them more. It's okay. But we'll get a little bit more practice today. Alright. Yeah. Okay, I kind of see where I'm going with this now. So... this first pleat, where's the edge of it? It's like... maybe it'd be easier if I did it from here, because I can see the edge of this one. It's like this. Okay, and then this one, I guess is like this. Okay, just pulling it out. And then maybe it'll look a little better if I just make this one a little bit more angled like this instead of that initial scribble that I drew. And we'll let it fold out just a little bit more here. Connect it up here. Straighten out the lines a little. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think that looks pretty okay. And then maybe I can give it another little wiggle back here. When in doubt, just add another little wiggle to your clothes. I personally enjoy the occasional bit of wiggling. Alright. I feel like enjoying wiggling is a necessary prerequisite to being a VTuber. So, there you go. Alright. Yeah. This works for me. I need to smooth it, but no, this is a good start. I can see what I'm doing now. Let's let this light spot come up a little bit further. We'll just kind of let it all kind of bunch together up there and do the same over here. Let this light spot kind of come up a little further. Alright, now... do I want any further dark points? You know what? Let's not worry about it. I dig the structure there. I think I got it. So the next step is... let's see. I think I want this one to be slightly more angled upward. I like the length of it, so let's try not to change it too much. But I just want to have the angle on it a little sharper. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. And the flailing will hopefully be complete. I mean, it's true when you draw anything. If you don't understand it, you're gonna have a bad time. So it's just a matter of kind of understanding how things are connected to things and where the layers are. And right now, my things are like super triangular and stuff, but I always find it easier to think in angles. And then at the end, I kind of go out and lessen the angles a little bit. So at the end, I kind of go in and make some of the things rounder. And we probably want this kind of fold over here. Okay, yeah. Oh, wrong color. So there we go. Kind of round you out a little bit. And I think this angle looks much better. This one already, I think, looked fine. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's go flail on the other side now. I'll just do the same thing. Let's get rid of it on that side so it doesn't bother me, and I'll just start with the scribble and flail for a little bit, and we'll see if it works again. Come on, magic. Yeah, this side is a little different. I think I can afford to do stuff kind of like this, where it kind of folds on itself a little bit more, and then we have something there and something... Let's see, they all kind of meet up here, so something like this. I can't see it yet, but that's okay. Let's start putting in the light and the dark areas and see if then I can understand it. That's always been kind of true for me, and why a lot of standard advice just doesn't work very well for me, because I can't see in lines very well. I just cannot see three-dimensionally like that. I can only see in light. But, you know, give me a bright area and a dark area, and I see it much more clearly. That's why I draw like this. Okay. So am I pulling it out again? We have this fold doing a thing here, and everything here is just dark. Workable? I think I want this one to extend a little further out. And then we just get another little dark spot here where it goes back in. And what do I do with you? Maybe I should just draw it, instead of what I initially drew, a little bit more like this. Where it goes all the way to the corner. I don't know, does that make any more sense to me? Not really. I don't know, it's getting there, it's getting there. So, let's see. I don't like that spot, though. Let me put back what I kind of had before. So we get something like that. Let's neaten it up just a little bit more here. And see if that brings out what I'm trying to see. I kind of feel like this should extend a little further here. It's right here. I still can't see what's going on there. Up here, I get. Do I just need a third color? Good question. I don't know. I kind of liked having this part only go up like that. So I think that might actually be more correct. And then maybe if I put the light area back down here into the corner, will that help at all? And then I... Oops. Connect this a little bit better. And then this part comes down just a little bit lower, maybe? Just gotta pull it out. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. No, that's still not really doing it, huh? I still don't quite see it. I really don't. I still don't quite see it. Does this need to connect from this corner and go up? Okay, let me put the lines back on. Maybe what I need is... Because over on this side, I think they were overlapping a little bit more. Whereas here, I was able to kind of find lines that went all the way up to the waist. I don't think that happens here. Because it happens behind. So this line that's gonna be coming all the way up here, it happens behind everything. And I think it probably attaches either right there or even slightly on her back. So how do I portray that? I do not know. Where do the shadows go here? So maybe just that the angle of this behind part is wrong? Do I just want it to go up like this? Instead of at an angle, since it's all kind of connecting up on her back? Oh. Ooh, yes. That was it. Okay. It's amazing how sometimes just a small difference in pixels can make a huge difference. Art is weird. It's no wonder art is hard. But yeah, there we go. I think that's a pretty sound structure for this. This is going to be something that won't be too bad to clean up later. And then maybe this part doesn't connect quite up there. It connects a little further to the side. And, oh yes. That was all. I was trying to connect it like I was doing on this side. But because it connects kind of on her back there, I need the angle to be considerably different. Makes sense. We'll let this guy come out a little bit more then before he kind of curves in. There we go. Alright, and then once I fix the back, this should all make sense. Let's find out. I want to do that right now. I'm gonna grab my color and then kill it. I'm gonna kill the black parts too. Okay, so this one kind of connects over here. And then this, we see a lot of the bottom kind of at the corner here. And I do picture that the back part being pleated too. Yeah, yeah. That's what it looks like when you start to understand. It's pretty cool. It's a nice feeling. And then I just make it wiggly. Then you just make it wiggly. See, the wiggles make it happen. The wiggles bring out the rest. This is too straight through here, so I need to add another wiggle up there in order to make this look okay. I was picturing the wiggle kind of happening under her legs, but no, it has to be in a place where we can see it. Otherwise it won't look right. So let's get the wiggle in there. And... I don't like the angle of your wiggle. Be more angled. There we go. And that should do it. We'll see if I add, you know, another color, like I could potentially do something like this back there. I might do it just for the sake of my own understanding for now, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I'll just leave it like that for now. But yeah, there we go. That'll be how that part looks. And I think that looks pretty good. So now I just need to do the same thing with the black part. Pain. Okay. The black part I did picture working a little bit differently though, so let's go turn it on. Yeah, I don't think I want to do the trim yet. Let's do the black part. Ooh boy. Okay. You know what? Her legs are in the way, so I'm revoking her leg privileges for a little bit. There we go. Now I have to decide how these actually work. The stare of having to make a decision. Okay. I'm gonna stretch. And then we can make decisions. So, I picture these not necessarily being actually attached to the red parts, slightly different from how it was on the dress side, where these are the kind of alternating frills. I didn't necessarily picture that here, but is that how I want it to be? How do I want it to be? Oh man, my microphone doesn't pick me up, like pushing air through my teeth. How unfortunate. So, okay, I got a doodle. So, the ways that I'm picturing it right now, separate layers. Just kind of more straight. Where maybe at the edge it, like, kinda goes across or something. Alternative. We have the same kind of frilly bit up here, but then it's only on the edges. And it's like that. I kind of prefer them as separate frills, so the way I'd have to draw that... Because I don't want them to completely cover everything is the thing. But I don't like it just at the edges of this. Like, that's the job for trim. I mean, this doesn't look bad, but it's not what I want for this. I want more glitter. And that will be just extremely insufficient glitter. So I can't have that. Yeah, that's just blasphemous. Okay, well, let's get started from the top. I think I know roughly how I want that to be. A little bit more square. Can't talk today. I don't know why. A little bit more square frill. And we'll just kind of let it be a little angled like that. And then from there, I do kind of like it covering the top. And it also means that I don't have to care so much about what's up top. Although these are translucent, are they? Shoot, I do have to care. And then how do I handle the next layer? That's the question. Like, the top is easy. I totally get what I want there. I'm just not sure how I want to handle whatever I put down here. So yeah, I don't like it just on the edges. That's just not quite it. You know what, let's put on the trim first. Maybe figuring out what I'm gonna do with the gold will help me figure out what I want to do with the black. So, it's easy. I just want this to be on the edges of the red. Nice little thin layer, kind of marking the edges of those. I guess I'll make this one dark immediately, since I know this one's in shadow already. And then kind of the same thing over here. Where you just plop it down on the edge. I'm not going to do it on the back yet. Alright. So what am I going to do with this? Because I still don't like it just like this, do I? Where we just plop in a little bit of frill here. Where there'll be glitter and nice things. Yeah, I just really don't. Okay. I mean, like this isn't bad. Hey, I could also try putting it just underneath. I don't need my shenanigan layer anymore, so I'll go and clear that. So I don't know, how do you look? Just oh, I was drawing on the wrong layer. Okay, well I'm glad I noticed that quickly. What if you're just underneath? Like a petticoat or something. Again, doesn't look bad, but it's not quite what I want for this one. Because when we put legs back on, again, you know, not bad, but just not it. I love costume design, it's great, but it is hard. Because there's like something that I don't even know how to describe in my thought process here, and even if I were to put it on the edge and have it actually follow the shape a little more correctly, it's still not quite it. Again, it doesn't look bad, but it just doesn't. Oops, that's right. Oh, and I was drawing on the wrong layer anyway. It doesn't look bad, but I want it to mirror what's over here a little bit better. It's just that the frills, I guess these aren't really frills, but the skirt is structured way differently than this one is, and I can't just do the same thing. So okay, I have another thought. What if it just kind of goes across halfway on each pleat, and then I make these a little bit bigger? I think you'd need to be higher. You'd have to be like over here. And then on this side, it'd go a little bit more like this. Okay, yeah, that works. Alright, let's draw the whole thing neatly now. Actually, I kind of like the top part, so I'll start there. But yeah, I think that's more what I want. And no, she doesn't need legs right now. Okay. Frill time! It's alright, this one doesn't have very many frills, so it's not going to be like pure frill hell like this was. And it's just gonna be... Like I said, I kind of have a particular thing in mind. So I want to start structuring that. So something like that. This does not look at all right yet, but I can see it in my brain. I can only hope that soon I'll be able to actually show it to all of you. But I do see it. It is within my mind's eye. That's a good way to put it. Anyway, like I said, I wanted it to be a little more square frill. So I just kind of square them off. As opposed to the more, I don't know, round frill that you get with this kind of structure. These ones are a little more square, so that it ends up being a lot more like this. Yeah. So I just gotta get those little shapes right. And personally, I find square frills way easier to draw than round frills, so if I don't care too much, I tend to go with square ones, but in this case, I just want the angularness of them. She strikes me as a more angular character. Of just the kind of shapes that her personality makes me think of. And then I don't think we have to care about over there so much. because her hand is going to be coming back soon. And in fact, I think once I get all these frills on there and they're all kind of drawn, I will then go back and go work on the hand again, and we'll go finish that. And then we'll see some on the backside, but I want that on the backside layer, as opposed to just right here. So, sure, let's go draw it now. That's the cape, that's not the skirt. This is the skirt, okay. Cool. And then this will come down like that. And then on here... Yeah, sure, I might as well draw the trim. Just while I'm down here. There we go. Okay, and now I can get the rest of the basic design of the frill onto the other layers. So, this is just a complete circuit. And it does not actually connect to the ones down here, although it might look like it at first. This one is firmly underneath here. Let's scribble this on. And it is just underneath. And then we scribble it here. And this is where it becomes a little bit more clear that this is just another frill layer. They kind of connect over here. And it's all in shadow underneath this guy here. And actually, before I continue, I would like to adjust the trim just a little, because I do believe that it is like this. There we go. That looks pretty nice. Okay. Back to frills. And this guy will be underneath here. Well, I can't actually put it underneath because this top bit needs to be on top, so I'll just draw it like this. And that looks fine. Albeit a bit messy. But that's okay. Everything starts a little bit messy. Otherwise, nothing would ever get done. Alright, and we get the shadows from all of this going up there. And then this guy will come over here, and he'll come off. He's a little bit higher up than the others. Actually, I should have drawn him just entirely in shadow. Let's just do that. He's not that much higher than this other group, so I don't want him to be quite so low. Or so high, rather. So something like that, and it'll be nice and sparkly. In fact, I think I'm going to lower the opacity now, because I want it to be kind of sheer. I'll leave it at 65, so we can kind of see through it. And then, I do the same thing over here, where we get these little guys that are kind of underneath, and then they stick out a little bit more. Okay, I need to do this to be able to see a little bit better. Okay, and then we get a little over here. And this one doesn't get any on the underside. There are no frills underneath, only on top. Alright, so something like that. I think I'm gonna go in and clean them up just a little bit here, just so I can see a little bit better. But I'm not gonna make it nice and smooth or anything. We're just having a nice little square frill here. Nothing too complicated. Okay. The big thing is that these places where the sets of frills are overlapping, I kind of want to make sure that they all overlap nicely, and where I got these guys to have pretty good shapes, I want to do the same for these guys sticking out here. I want to make sure that, you know, structurally the whole thing is sound. That it all makes sense. And that it doesn't really look like I'm making things up, even though I am. I don't want it to look that way. It's a bad look. Okay, and then this one comes down. And there is an angle to it, so I kind of need to pull a little shenanigan here, but only a little one. And then this one will come up. And then I want to make sure it looks like it's hanging off the edge there. It's just attached, like right at the edge of the skirt. And then it's just kind of hanging out. Okay. And then you, I think half of you is actually supposed to be in shadow. I don't like that shape anymore. Let's fix it. There we go. Okay. Now it looks like it has the right angle. And I want to make sure that this light spot is going the right way because you're an up, so that means you're down. Because you're down, up, down. They gotta alternate. So you're up. Yes. Okay. Now then, over here. You are connected to this guy here, so you are bleeding over a little bit too much. You gotta be underneath. And then we get a shadow over here, where it's kind of all underneath. I guess I've decided that this one is up, which means that this one is down. And they just kind of connect in like this. They are just sewn on separately, I suppose. Yeah, okay. Alright, and then this... I don't have the trim drawn quite right. So I should do that, because otherwise it will get confusing. Alright. Because I just saw the way the shadow that was going up. I think that the pleat of the dress ends right there. So I wanted to make sure that that was structured properly, so that this way I knew where to draw this frill. I guess I've decided that this one is going up. Which means that this next one, it will be going down. And then you just kind of alternate. It's easy. So this one will go up. That one will go up. This one is up. I'll let it kind of roll into this guy over here. Then this one will go down. Which he already kind of is, so that's nice. And then I think that's the last one we see over here. And I think that looks decently attached here, so let's just kind of adjust the top. So this way they can stick up where necessary. So this one kind of sticks up, and this guy kind of sticks up. There we go. So that looks reasonably attached as it needs to for the moment. We get it down here, and then an up here. Down there. Straighten it all out. And then, there we go. And I think you are long. So I'm gonna cut you off there. There we go. That makes it more about the same size as the rest. So now over here to this side. And then I can turn the glitter back on. Hell yeah. It's placeholder glitter still, but I'll make it look nice. After I have it fully rendered, it'll motivate me to make everything look nice. This is the joy of how to say making everything look scuffed at the beginning. This is also why that all my placeholder graphics and stuff in the game I'm developing also look really bad, because it does legitimately motivate me to want to fix it, to want to finish it. Because then I get to make it look good, and that feels nice. I love making things look good. Alright. So I'm just fixing up this guy a little bit. I think this guy's actually a down, which means that this one is an up. So let's get him going up. I think this guy's a little bit too thick as well, so let's add a little bit less thickness to this, and we'll let this up one kind of come out over here. Seems good to me. Okay, and then I have the black spot on the back. I'm gonna hide it for now. I liked having it at the beginning. It did help me see, but now it is interfering. So we'll hide it for a bit, and then I will adjust it afterward. Okay. So this one is going over there. I kind of don't like the angle that this one is coming up at, so let's adjust that. I think I can just make this down one a little longer. And then this down one a little shorter. There we go. Now they all look a little more similar. I can add where the light spot should be, which, to be fair, is most of it. I'm not going all the way to the edge because I don't feel like locking the layer, but this is fine for now. I can see the frills in that. Now then, the next ones. So I think a lot of these are going to be in shadow. I can't tell if I wanted you to be an up or a down, so I guess you're an up right now. So this will be the down. And then we get the up here. And then I just shape it nicely until it does what I want. And I do think that a lot of these guys will be just kind of coming back here into this, and then we get the one that's wrapping around, because I do think that there is one wrapping around there, and it kind of goes around to the other side. That would be, you know, somewhere in this area, but behind. I think you're a little long. So this one, I get to shape kind of lazily since it's covered and in shadow. Up, down, and let's thin it out a bit, make it look a little nicer, show where it's going back, and there we go. So I think that is the basic of all the frills. Let's turn on the placeholder glitter, and I'll go ahead and reduce the opacity to where I think it should be. No, that's a bit too light. Yeah, right about there. I think that looks pretty good. So that's kind of how all of that's gonna look. I can give her legs back now, and I guess the other part of the back of her cape. And I don't think we see any of the black ones on the other side here. So the only thing to do is basically to paint a couple of little spots where it's going a little further back over here. So just get those shapes there. And once again, I think I had it like 85. There. And that is the basics of this. I kind of do think I want a little bit of black around the edges now that I look at it. So maybe I do actually want essentially petticoat-esque thing. Let's go take a look. Either that or something at the edge of... Okay, let's try 2 patterns. One, just around the edge here. Okay, and the other on top. On top is way better. Okay, but they need to be small frills. Alright, let's do it. Let's put some small frills on the edge here. They're gonna be tiny. Okay, in which case, no, I need her to hide her legs again. No legs allowed for now. So we're just gonna put in some little guys here. I think even that one's a little big. Just some little guys. Okay. And we just follow the edge through here. And all the way through here. And I'll clean them up just like I did with everything else. I'm gonna hide the glitter again. And bring it all up to 100% opacity for a little bit. In which case, you know, let's zoom out. I was thinking of trying just to draw them. But no, I find it too hard to do so when I don't know where they're gonna be. It's easier just to do it like this. And do I want them to be this little? That's the next question, because I might want them to be just a little bit bigger. Let's see how it looks on the back, too. Okay. I won't clean up the ones on the back yet, but I just want to see what it looks like. I do like it better with at least some. I like the black going around the edge. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see, what do they look like if I make them just a little bit bigger? I'm gonna do this on a new layer because I'm scared. Okay, and at least like this, I can kind of do it before and after. They're not huge. They're just a little bit bigger like this. Yeah, I like them just a little bit bigger. So I'll go ahead and merge that down, and I'll go ahead and clean this up. Like I said, I'm not going to do the backside yet. It is not yet time for that. But I think this looks pretty good. There were more decisions left in this skirt than I thought there was. But it's okay. Looks like we got plenty of time to finish it today. Just thinking about some other things, because I realized that I still haven't drawn any of the other gold trim that I have planned. Only on here. Alright, well, it's okay. Let's get in there. Actually, before we get in there, I'm gonna lock the layer real quick and add a kinda how I picture these guys sticking out a bit. And then all of these are in shadow. Let's just get the basics in there. It's easier to do it from out here than it is zooming in. Much easier. Okay. And boop. And okay. So now onto this side, where I just kind of do the same thing. I just want to get the shape of this one looking a little bit nicer here. There we go. That's a bit better. I can kind of see how they're overlapping a little bit better now. Alright. So something like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like this. So it turns out the answer all along was both. That is true sometimes. Alright. Let's see here. Let's see here. This one needs to be longer, but I can fix all that as I go around. So first, I think I'm just gonna go around and once again, kind of get the basics of the edge here, and then after that, I'll go in and fix the tops. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to understand the tops well enough until I fix this part. So there we go. Now we just gotta go through here. I guess I am slightly in frill hell. Frills are just one of those things that they look really nice, but they are a little bit time-consuming. It's okay, at least I don't have to rig it. I continue to be grateful that I made my VTuber design super simple. I've seen what you have to do with rigging and frills. That looks terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. There are just so many. And oh my god. I swear, riggers have to be some of the most patient people. Okay, so this one will be down, and then, you know, I just gotta alternate up and down again. Frills look pretty random, but they're really not. And if you draw them a little bit wrong, they're gonna look terrible. They're not like clouds or hair, where you can draw whatever the hell you want and it'll look fine. They are picky. And it's rude. Oh, I have some residue from something there. What are you from? Are you from here? No? Oh god, I've been drawing on the wrong layer. Pain. Okay, well, let's clean that up before I have a bad day. Okay, did I get it all? Not quite. I was drawing on the trim layer again. Life is hard. That's okay, I caught it, and now there's not much to fix. I'm not sure how that happened. How awkward. Oh well, it's fine, I caught it. And all is well. I'm alive. And I don't have to do a bunch of shenanigans in order to get everything back on the right layer. It's all good. It is. God, I hate it when I do that, though. So annoying. Like, man, computer, man, art program, why can't you just read my mind? It'd be very convenient for me if you could. Okay. Some more little squares here. And once again, I'm not really gonna worry about the back, but it'll bother me if I don't at least kind of get it started. So after I finish kind of fixing up these guys a little bit, kind of getting them going here, I'll go and fix up the bottom a little. Just so that it at least matches. That's what's important. It just has to... I need to see what is actually happening in order to really be able to draw any of this correctly. So, just gotta see it. Okay, I guess you're up. That's fine. You can be down. Sounds good to me. Let's keep it simple. Alright, almost done with the first one. Man, it's gonna take me a while to fully clean and render this. Oh well. I brought it up myself by choosing to draw it like this, but whatever. It looks good, so I'll tolerate it. Okay. And then from here... gotta do the other side. The other side's gonna be a little bit harder, but I don't think it'll be too bad. I don't think it'll be too bad at all. And there we go. That should do it. I don't know, I feel like this guy's a little bit long even for being down. Okay. And now just this little corner here. I can't see very well, and I want to make sure that I have the frills all shaped right, so let's hide the background for just a little here. We have this one going up, which means this one goes down. And that actually all seems correct. And you know what? Before I go to the other side, I'm going to do the tops of all these. So the ones that are going up are going to kind of connect a little bit higher. And the ones that are going down. And this should get all the right shapes in there. I want to make them look a little pinched, because I like doing that with frills. You are two frills that I accidentally drew as one. How incredibly silly. This means you are a little bit small, which works well since the one next to you is a little bit big. So, you know, worked out. There we go. So up and down and down and up. I think this down is a little bit too long, so let's lessen that a little. Okay, and then through here we have an up over here and a down right here. So up and down and up and down. And then it kind of poofs out over there, so that's all good. This one's up and this one's down. And then this one's up and down. And it just repeats endlessly. until the artist goes slightly insane from the repetitiveness of frills. Again, still eternally grateful that I am not rigging this. That I am not going to try to animate any of this. Oh my god. Okay, and down there. Then we get the up here and the down here. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. I think they're looking pretty good. You. Hello there, Kuhaku. Welcome back. Okay. We're drawing frills! And it's, you know, as always, making me go slightly insane. Because drawing frills always does, and yet I keep drawing them. They look too dang good. There is nothing to be done. Oh wait, this is an up, and then the one next to it here is a down. Let me fix the shadows there, then. So this way I can actually kind of see what's going on. There we go. Up there. Down here, and something like that. Okay. Cool! We got the basics there! One more side to go! And then I think I can get away with scribbling on the bottom for now. Okay. Frill time! It's okay, this side is shorter. Alright, once again, I'm gonna do the bottom before I do the top. It just makes life a little bit more straightforward, and it's how I like to do things. Oh dear lord, how did I draw this? Okay, well, let's plop in some shadow frills here, and then I guess I'll have to redraw quite a lot of the ones I did here too. That's okay. Such is life. Those ones I'll let stay in light though. So let's see, over here, these guys up top need to be lit. Okay, so we have up, and then we have this guy going down. He's kind of underneath, so I guess I'll just leave him in shadow. Sounds good to me. And then we have this one going up. And I think this is a bit too much for what's going on with the frills here, so let's pull all this back. There we go. Yeah, now it's lining up with the edge of the skirt a little bit better. I'm gonna stretch again. Oh man, because I need it. Oh! The repetitiveness is getting to me, but I want to finish this up before I go back to the hand. Not because I'm procrastinating on the hand, but because I don't want to procrastinate on this. And then just think, I still have to smooth this later. This is still all very messy. So, you know, I'm not going to be free from frills for a little while, but that's okay. They look nice. They look very nice. I like them a lot. Okay, then we have the frills coming down here, kind of a backside to this guy, and then another frill coming out. There we go. That should do it. Okay, and then this is where things are going to get interesting. Because now we have frills overlapping other frills. I'd say past self, why did you do this to me by deciding to draw this? But I am continuing the trend by deciding that I don't want to just erase it. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's see, this is up, so you are down. And so I think the real problem here is just that I kind of merged the sets of frills here, because this one is too long now, and this should actually be lower than everything here. So I gotta erase like all the way up here. Okay, there we go. So if you are you up or down? I don't think it matters. I guess you're down now. So we'll let this one be up, and then we'll put another down one over here. And I'll get their structure back in. Very important. Okay, now I can kind of deal with these frills that are in shadow here. Okay, you're too long. And I don't want them to be overlapping quite like they are right now, so let's see. Let's make this one a little thinner, and then we'll have the up one here, and then another down one over here. That one is too narrow, so the down one can come over here, and then I can send it back up right there. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. So, what I was talking about there is I didn't want the edge of the frills to be at the same spot, because if I tried to make it so that this one started going up right there, it would be really ambiguous and weird, and these frills would like merge together, and I think that would look terrible. So, there you go. I want to make it clear that these dark frills are actually on top of these light frills down here. It's a bit strange, maybe a bit counterintuitive, but it makes sense when you consider how the light is hitting them. Because these ones, we're seeing the inside of them. The light is behind her. It's like over here. I have the window turned off right now, so you can't really see it. So the light is shining onto this, and it'll light the other side of this frill. So this is actually correct, even though it feels a bit counterintuitive. Light is funny like that. So then I just continue the pattern of letting one be up and one be down, and I just continue it all the way across until the end of the skirt. Where does this end? Because I don't think this looks quite right. Yeah, you are... Okay, let's get this making sense. We have a frill sticking out a little bit right here. And then the next set of frills sticks out like that, and I think that is fine. So let's see, you weren't up. Which will make this one come down here. And up there, and we get something like this. And I think it actually does make sense. Once again, just making sure that the frills overlap each other in a way that looks nice. There we go. That looks pretty nice. And we have this guy here. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he's up now. No, I think I actually want him to be down. I want this one to be up. Okay. I changed my mind. And now I feel like they're getting a little big. I shouldn't let myself get lazy. Not when I've come this far. So I don't want them to be too big. Let's get them to be the right size. There we go, that's better. Okay, so now we want to go up like right about there. And then I just gotta fix the light on it. That's okay, that's easy enough to do. Phew. Alright. Yeah, almost there! I'm almost free. I will want to get the back started too, just so that it doesn't bother me. Because if everything else is this level of finish, but the back isn't, it being incongruent and just different from each other will bother me. Definitely will. So I'll definitely want to grab those real quick, but you still gotta finish up these guys. Alright, let's see here. How is this actually turning? You know, that's a good question. I think it, we get... Let's see, this one was down, so there's gonna be an up over here. That goes like this. And then another... I think you're a little bit too long. Oh, yeah, we'll get an up that goes like that, and then we'll get another down over here. Kind of sticking off the edge here. Kind of fades into this guy there, so let's really separate him out. Okay, that seems fine for now. Alright, and then this part is gonna kind of come down over here and into this, where it kind of turns back into here. And I don't think it sticks out quite that far, so let's pull this back just a little. And then we start getting the frills that are going to be attached to this part down there. So we get something kind of coming out there. I don't mind leaving things a little bit ambiguous here. This is shadows. Shadows are okay when they're a little ambiguous. It reflects kind of how the eye actually sees shadows. Since, you know, what we actually see is reflections of light. And thus, when things are dark, we don't see quite as clearly. Okay, and up over here. And down right there, and up over here. And down. I think I want you to be a little higher up. There we go, that looks pretty good. Down over here, and over here. We flip out like that. Let's see, you're down. So that means you're up. And let's make you just a little bit longer so you can be at a proper down. There we go. Okay, and that takes me all the way to the edge there, so now I can go back to the beginning and do the top. Sometimes frills are worse than hair. Alright. You never quite feel like you're done. Okay. So let's get you, like, attached nicely. And then I just want to make sure that the up and down is reflected in how they actually attach to the skirt. So let's see. I think you should attach a little bit higher, even if you are down. Just this up should attach a lot higher up. And then this down can come a little further down. There we go. And then this part's gonna be pretty easy. I'm just like, okay, we add a little bit more to the ups. And that should do it. Maybe I need to take a little bit off the down occasionally. It's all good. Let's see, so we have a down right there. Alright. Fortunately, once I have everything kind of defined, getting the tops is really easy. That's, you know, one of the many reasons I like to spend a little bit of time getting that right. It just makes life so much easier afterward, even if it is a little inconvenient in the moment. So you're up here. And down here. And I'm still leaving things pretty loose and messy. Handling all that's gonna be a job for future me, getting all this smooth. I'm sure she'll be able to deal with it, it's fine. I'm just trying to get the things structurally sound in a way that makes sense to me. And then hopefully, since I've done pretty well here and I've been very thorough in making the structure good, that my future self will have an easy time. Let's draw the back. Actually, let's put the glitter on first. And drop the opacity back down, and there we go. That looks fantastic. Look at that lovely skirt. Let's put her legs back on and draw the backside. Oh yeah, you were a pattern I was testing. I don't need you anymore. Go away. Okay. Where was I? Okay, so the back part is actually going to be underneath here, because I don't think any of this goes on top. So now I just roughly do some frill stuff here. Fortunately, I can be very rough with it, because I won't be smoothing this out until much later. And he'll get some glitter later. I don't feel like adding it right now, and I think that's okay. So there we go! Suit, skirt, defined. And I'm gonna turn the background back on now. Before I go back to the hand, I will turn it on, but I want to kind of finalize the shadows and everything. I think that they're all looking pretty good, but now we need a few more shadows underneath these frills here. And then that should do it for everything. And I actually got to make sure to paint underneath them. So let's just finalize these shadows here. I think that all looks good. And then I can stop going slightly crazy, trying to draw frills. I am free for at least a little while. But you know what? I'll take it. I will. Alright. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Okay. Am I satisfied? I think I am. I actually think I am. Yeah, and I like the design, and it feels like it's sitting on her, and... Yeah. Yeah. I'll worry about the cash out from the hair later. I kinda want to have everything else done before I deal with that. So let's go finish up the hand. Okay, yeah, I think the cape is doing fine. I just wasn't sure if it was overlapping her arm in a weird way. So I'll go finish up the hand, and then I can get back to doing her torso. I just decided to do the skirt thing while I looked away from the hand for a while, just to make sure I still liked it, and that I felt like it was proportionate to her face. I think it's a little small, so you know what? I'm glad I looked away. Oop. She's got to have appropriately sized hands. How can you steeple your fingers together to plot if you have tiny hands, right? So, very, very important here. Let me just bring it up close to the head to compare. A little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So I believe in this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and smooth it all out again. Fortunately, you know, it's already pretty much done. I just need to fix a few areas and kind of smooth out the areas that got really blurry. When I made everything larger. Because, you know, the transform tools will do that to you. That's okay. Nothing that a little bit of drawing over things can't fix. Super easy. And then I can, you know, correct any of the areas that I think are looking a little weird. Like right here by the pinky. It's really no trouble at all. And then, you know, some things just around here while I was changing the size of the fingers got a little bit bent out of shape. So I just gotta put them back. It is, again, really no trouble at all. And I want to make sure the hands look nice. I do. Actually, I kind of like that extra fold there. I think that looks pretty cool. Let's keep it. And had a good idea this time. It really did. Okay. Yeah, so it's gonna take me a second to trace over all that. I ended up having to correct a few more things than I expected. The pinky in particular just looked way worse than all the other fingers in my opinion. So I wanted to make sure this little guy looked good. The pinky may be just a little guy, but I think the little guys are important too. But now that he's looking pretty okay, I think I can just get into the rest of the fingers no problem. When it comes to this particular pose, I think the hands are kind of middling importance. Sometimes hands are incredibly important, depending on how expressive they are, but, you know, here, they're not doing that much. As long as the structure is convincing, I think it'll be fine. And I think that they're easy to understand like this, so I think it'll be just fine. They're nice and far away from the face this time, so I don't have to be super particular about anything if I don't want to. And, well, you know, just due to my nature, I kinda want to. I really do. I'm not sure if it's worth the extra time. So, I'll just be mildly particular, yes. Okay, let's see here. I think that covers most of it. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. Let's see, I missed a couple of spots just right through here. I just don't want them to look blurry. I guess some of this is probably going to be blended at some point, so maybe I shouldn't be worrying about it so much, but this is fine. Okay, so there we go. Hands good. I want to adjust the cuff of the sleeve just a little bit here. I noticed that it was really choppy. But there we go. Yep, looks pretty good to me. So now let's try to get that torso. And I think before I do the torso, I want to get the hand shadows on the belt looking a little better. Because the hand moved a little bit is all. So I just need to make sure those fingers look like they're digging into her side just a little here. Just like that. Pinky's not digging into anything. It's a pinky. It has, like, no strength. But there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So now, torso time. Finally. Okay. Gonna do another little stretch here while I stare at this and try to figure out how I want to handle it. Okay. Always good to stretch for a little bit while you're drawing. really do like that skirt now that I look at it. I'm glad that I went ahead and just decided to smooth it all out because I think it's looking pretty good. I like it, and I still think it mirrors this one pretty well, despite being of completely different styles. So, yay. Okay, back to torso. Let's see. So, while I'm zoomed out here, I think I actually took care of the edges last time. So I want to figure out where this light hits. I don't think we get any over here, because I do picture this cape being a thick cloth, you know, in contrast to this one, which is going to be a very thin cloth. But this one I do picture thick, so I don't think we get any rim light, like, over here or anything. So I think all of it is strictly going to be over here. And what I think happens is we get something a little bit like this. Or we just kind of get a few little beads of light in there. And then little bits of shadow at the edges of the folds. Okay, just make sure I have the right color there. And then just, you know, a few folds kind of coming out of where the buttons are. I can keep them kind of small. And then otherwise, I think that this side is actually already looking pretty alright. I don't really think I need to do a whole lot there. Might extend this guy out just a little bit further. Kind of lining up folds with where the buttons are and where the bend in her hip is. These still feel a little bit strong. Maybe I just need to make them a little bit smaller. Something like that. Just, you know, better, but I think that is indeed roughly where the light parts are going to be. And then I think I want just a little guy at the edge of the button, the thing that holds the buttons. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And you know what? While I'm here, I think I'm going to do the basics of the legs, too. I'm not going to get them smooth or anything. But I think I just want to get the basics. So, I think that they're already looking mostly alright. Oh, wait, this is the back leg. I don't want to be working with the back leg right now. I'm doing stuff on the front leg. Yeah, that I kind of figured that I had a halfway shadow here. And I think I kind of want something similar up on the suit here, where I kind of have that half shadow here. I want to plop them kind of up here. Just to keep things a little bit darker, where I picture the edge of this plane being. Okay, back to leg. Again, I'm not getting it smooth right now. Just kind of plop it in, some basic stuff. And then we get a little fold at the knee here, so we'll get a few little folds kind of coming into it. And then, yeah, I already have the folds where her legs meet up here, already kind of in there. And I'll put a few little cast shadows from the skirty bit. And then I think the back leg is already looking pretty good. Let's see, do I want a slightly... Oh, I already have a slightly darker black. Excellent. I might use that for a few places on the frills, too. Alright, I think that's good. I don't think I need anything that dark up on the torso, so... There we go. I think that's good for just, you know, the basics for the legs there. I didn't really need to do much. I kind of already had them. So let's go ahead and smooth this. Let's see, I have a few folds in here, so let's kind of bring them out. No. This should be like the back side of it. There we go. And then this is the lower side of the fold. There we go. All right. Then I just want a little bit to kind of stick out around the belt, because I think that'll look nice. But you can see that the folds here are pretty subtle. I picture this as sticking on her midsection a little bit tightly. So I don't want there to be really big folds. This side gets to be a little bit bigger since it's being pinched. You know, her back is just bending a little bit to the side. So that side gets to be a little bit more extreme, but the ones on this side, I want to keep very, very small. I'm actually even considering using a slightly lighter shadow color here. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. How did you get so yellow? I gotta fix that. Alright. So now that I kind of believe in everything that I drew, I can go ahead and smooth it. I don't think it'll take too long to smooth this. This part all looks very easy. Very easy, very straightforward. And I think I can make this part look really nice with a gradient later, but I would have saved that for proper science time. It is not yet science time. Right now, I'm just putting in some basic lights. I'm not going to blend anything. I will be experimenting with that heavily once all the clothes are done. All of it. I just think it'll be easier that way, where I will know how everything looks, and so for things that are kind of connected together or have similar colors or whatever, I can run my experiments all at the same time, rather than, you know, having to guess what things might look like once I finish another part. I think it's just easier to do it all at the end. You know, it's funny. I was starting on this side, but my brain decided it wanted to do this side. So, I guess we're doing this side. Okay, well, you know, that's fine. I can do this side. Nothing wrong with starting here. Alright. Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward stuff. Yeah, still, you know, stuff that I have to think about, of course. Can never completely turn your brain off when drawing, or at least I don't think you should. I'll fix up the edge of those folds once I switch back to the color I'll be using for it. Because right now I'm using this kind of light one here. And over here I have a, or rather this one's darker, rather. And I'm gonna want a lighter color out there. How do I feel about this? No, this one has to go all the way if I'm gonna do it like that. Maybe I shouldn't. Okay. We'll let that be a spot where the lighter spots start turning over, or the darker spots here start turning over to the light spots here. And then I think that this will have to be a little bit more like that in order to make this make sense. Using, you know, very specific language here, but that's okay. Okay. Let's get up into there. This isn't fully smoothed out. That's okay. It'll get there. Just gotta believe. Keep rendering. Just gotta finish plopping all the colors where I think they belong. Alright, yeah, I think that's looking alright, so I think I should just be able to smooth this out now. Get rid of all those blobby spots. Don't want blobs here. This is a nice, well cared for suit, so it is properly ironed and whatnot. Should not be wrinkly. Should not be blobby. That would just be terrible. So I'll just keep poking at things until I've worked out all the chunky parts. Then it should look pretty good. Alright. A little bit more over here, but only a little. And I'll go ahead and get the other side before I check this side. Okay, yeah, I think that works. And you know what, let's get the cast shadows while we're here. This is going to be a fair distance away, so I'll go ahead and put the shadow like that far apart. And there should be lots of little shadows around these little buttons. But they are closer, so they will be closer. Okay. I haven't done that side yet, so I'm not going to put all the little cast shadows over there just yet. I will still get this little button, though. And this one, too. Don't want to forget either of them. That would be rude. Okay, so there we go. Something like that. And... yeah, I kind of like this going all the way up to kind of the armpit. The arm I picture being on top, so I'm just kind of putting in the basics of where all that's going to be once I decide to draw it. Which probably won't be today. Because I think I'm going to do the legs before I do that arm. I don't know if I feel like dealing with the arms. The arms are my nemesis. They are the part of the body that I find the most difficult to draw, personally. So we'll see if I feel like getting into it. I might. Depends how much time I have. Looking at the time, unlikely, though. Because I still have to render out the skirt, and that has, like, a million frills on it, so, you know, good luck me. That's alright. Whatever I don't get today, I will get next time. And it'll be all good. See, this is why I didn't want to get the cast shadows on this side yet, because I knew that I'd be overwriting a lot of things with just regular old shadows. For a little bit. Why is that one not doing anything? Okay. It was not actually properly filled in. That happens sometimes, especially when I'm dealing with a layer directly underneath that has similar colors. If not outright the same. still a few blobs in there that I'd like to work out, but not many. I think I did pretty well just putting the colors down right the first time this time. So that's always nice. And there we go. So I think that's where I'll leave it. I think that looks pretty good. So now it is time to actually make the skirt look good. I'm just gonna stare because I'm terrified. Alright, well, that's okay. I don't want to... Normally I'd do the frills first because they're on top, but they're translucent anyway. So I might as well just do the skirt part and the trim first. It'll make it easier to place the final frills. So we'll be hiding them for a little bit. And I'm actually gonna start with the red part of the skirt. That's this way I can just clip the trim to it. And call it good. Unfortunately, I did indeed get the structure of this looking really nice, so I don't have that much to do. It's just a matter of going in and making everything nice and clean. So, as usual, when I'm just kind of cleaning things like this, I'm mostly concerned with the outside and not so much the inside. I'm a little bit more concerned with the inside than I normally would be, just because they kind of influence each other a lot here. But I'm not really going to be touching the main shadow areas until I know where all these pleats are. So that is what I am worried about right now. Just where all of these little pleats are. And that is it. Okay. So you see, I'll be digging into some shadows that I put on earlier, but that's okay. Whatever lets me get through this part most efficient. And I don't want to change where a lot of things are too much, because that would require me to change a bunch of things on the frills. And that sounds terrifying, so I'd rather not. If it could be avoided, at least. Alright. I know, just gotta take it slowly. It's fine. We'll see if I can get through all the frills today. There are just so dang many of them, you know? But honestly, just getting this part done is huge to me. And it's making me pretty happy with my progress today just on its own. So I am very happy. I was worried about how I was gonna draw this, but it ended up coming together. And I like the way it looks. I like it a lot. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's actually going decently well here. There's a lot to think about, and my brain still has a lot of trouble understanding this kind of structure with the kind of the things that are folded like this. I still find it very difficult, so I am making sure not to speed through it too much and really thinking about each stroke that I'm drawing, and also making sure to get the parts that I want to be straight actually straight and whatnot. But to be fair, I think right now some of these are actually a little bit too straight. So I'm actually going to curve this one a little. There we go. And then, in that case, I think I'd also want to curve this one a little. I'm a little afraid of doing this because I'm probably gonna have to change a few things about the frills, but you know what? It's for the best. I want to make sure that it looks nice. And I do care about where I place these things because this is going to be ultimately what determines where the trim goes. It needs to follow the structure of the skirt all the way through. Sometimes I wish getting things neat didn't take so long. I do always wish that I could draw a little bit faster. It's something that I still want to work on, but... Oh, the perfectionism is always real. Anyway, the cape is in the way, so I need to hide it. There we go. Gotta make sure that these edges are fantastic. Nice and smooth and pretty. I can't accept anything less, and then, you know, that's why I'm slow. But it's okay. I think it's worth it. Okay, so one last bit on the back here. And I think I want you to curve a little bit more. And I'll still separate these two pleats right there, and I think that's pretty good. So now we can go do the other side. Because there's two. Oh my, and I actually put you way too far out. So I'm probably gonna have to fix a lot of things. That is unfortunate, but such is life. Okay, looks like I'll have to paint a little bit more of the backs of the skirt there. Which again, you know, is fine. Okay. Let's get this going all the way out and get this properly connected to it. We'll just take a little while there. Okay, and there we go. I'm gonna hide the back of the skirt for a little bit because otherwise I might have a little bit of trouble making sure that this part is clean. You can see I had some stray pixels there that I had a bit of a hard time seeing. But now they're quite clear. So all is well there, and I am afraid that I'm gonna have to move so many frills with all the changes that I'm making here. Unfortunate. That's okay. It's totally fine. Individually, they're not hard to draw or anything, it's just that there's always a lot of them. And so it takes a little while to get all their tiny little shapes just right. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. I like the little curve there. Let's get it a little more curve-like. And then fix the curve on this guy here. Because it definitely needs a little bit of fixing. Okay. And then this guy will go straight up. Okay, and now we get this curve in. Yeah, I like it with the little curves. I think that they are helping. And then this guy needs to be shaped a little differently. You can see that I have an extra curve there, but that's fine. So now then this part should be going like this, which means I'm going to have to move that entire row of frills, and I'm already feeling like a deer in headlights, but that's fine. It's fine. Totally fine. Okay, so let's get this all straightened out. Put a little curve here. And there we go. That's a nice little curve right there. And now I just need the little curve that'll go on the edge of this one. I would not be surprised if I just have to redraw pretty much all of this side. But that's why I just wanted to get them started. Make sure that I liked the way that the skirt actually looked with the frills rather than just there. Maybe I should have just left them as scribbles until I was done at this point, though. Oh well. I was just thinking about it because, you know, like I said, I would like to draw a little bit faster, and I think some of that is just going to come from optimizing my process. And it's good to note where I feel the process is a little bit inefficient. So, you know, even though I say it's fine, and I do actually think it is fine, if we can get a little bit better at it, I think that's useful. Okay, there we go. How are we looking? Pretty good, I'd say. Let's put the trim on. And I'll draw all that properly. Okay. So I'm actually going to lower the opacity here. And, you know what, I guess there's no point in having you... Oh no, there's a little bit of a point. Okay. Oh, I have the shadow color right now? I don't want that. And I gotta be kind of a little bit precise on where I put things. I really do want to try to get the entire trim to be about the same width all the way through. I think about this width looks okay. Do I want it to connect all the way to the top? I don't think I do. I think I just want it to taper out like this. Yeah, that seems fine. And then we'll just kind of square it off a little bit more like this and make it look like it's kind of finishing on the side we don't see. But I want to make it clear that it's square. Okay, and then from here... I could probably do something nice with selections. And hello there, Pineapple. Welcome back. Well, let's see if I can make this a little bit easier for myself by doing something like this. Oops, wrong layer. Okay. I don't know if this will make it any easier, but, well, let's try it. I've been wanting to mess around with selections to try to speed up my process a little bit, too. What's going on here? Okay. Just a little spot that I didn't fix the shadows on, and that's fine. Right now, I'm just gonna go finish up this, the little skirty part of the suit here, but unfortunately it has a million frills, and I'm terrified. But, you know, that'll be a job for the me of probably like, you know, 5 or 10 minutes from now. I might not actually have enough time to start them today. And, they may or may not be the first thing I do next time. I might go draw her other hand first next time. We'll see what I'm feeling. Do I brave the endless supply of frills? Do I brave a frill hell? Or do I brave a hand holding something pose? Truly a question. They both sound hard. Well, I mean, she's holding a mask, not a hand. That is not a disembodied hand holding itself, fortunately. That sounds like something I might consider drawing, but it's not what I'm going for here. Admittedly, trying to draw non-Euclidean space sounds hilarious. So, again, sounds like something I would do, but this drawing is a bit simpler than that. Alright. And just for the sake of my sanity here, I'll draw all of this in light for now. And I will plop the shadows back on later. And I don't know, this one still feels a little thick. Let's fix that. There we go, that's a bit better. I'm probably gonna have to cut into this and redraw it, yeah. That's okay. It's easy enough to kind of fix the area that I cut into. And it makes my stroke a little bit better there. Okay. So now over here. Okay, and once again, I think I'm gonna have to cut into this one a little bit, but that's okay. I'll just fix it afterward. I still think it's a little bit thick, though. I do want to try to get it to be about the same thickness all the way across. That would be ideal. I'm really bad at judging distances and sizes, though. I always have been. That's why I'm so bad with proportion, and it takes me a little while of flailing to kind of get them right. I mean, just today, I changed my mind on how big the hand should be like 5 times. That's pretty normal for me. That's okay. If you feel like you're bad at proportions, you know, you're in good company. It's fine. You get used to it. Never be afraid of flailing. I do feel like it's one of digital's legitimate strengths. It's just that you can flail a little bit. It's easier to fix your mistakes. You don't necessarily have to get things right the first time. It's all good. Wait, did I just do that completely in dark? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, that was weird. Anyway. Okay, so let's see here. Gonna go all the way to the edge here. Oh, I see a little bit of residue. I should get rid of that. I'm trying to get things to the point that they will, how they will be for the final painting, so I don't want any just little bits of residue like that out there. Anything that might affect the look of the final painting needs to be fixed now. Okay, yeah, looking at the time, I'm definitely not gonna have time for frills, and I don't think I want to start them until I can finish them in the same stream. Well, I I don't know, maybe I'll do the topmost bit of the frilly part. I could probably do that. I was gonna say, maybe I'll do a different part, but nah. Maybe I can do the topmost part. And that'll be fine, and then we can do the rest next time, and I can break up the frill hell. Make it so I'm not just doing the entire thing at once. That can make things a little bit easier sometimes when you're doing something really, really monotonous. We'll see how much time I have. My mind is just wandering all over the place again because, you know, as is normal in rendering, it's really easy and kind of brain dead. There's not really any decisions to make anymore, so my brain wants something to think about, so it just thinks about random stuff. Mostly what I'm going to be doing after I get this part done. My brain really likes to think about that. I blame playing chess for a long time, where I tend to think about, you know, my next 20 moves all at once, and it's just normal. I just can't help myself. I've noticed my daughter start to do it too, so I can tell she's related to me. She is indeed my child. She doesn't even play chess yet. So it's probably just a quality of my brain, and it might be something that made me good at chess. It's always fun to kind of think about cause and effect like that. I wonder, you know, what caused what. It is not clear to me. Alright, just one more on this side, and then that'll be it for the trim. On this side. Still gotta get the other side. But there's less on the other side, so it's all good. Okay, this is still a little lumpy. Let's de-lump this just a little bit there. Okay. Other side. See if I can get this to be the right thickness. I totally made it way too thin there. Let's try that again. Huzzah for undo. Making my life easier every day. Okay, and then from here, mostly just want to cover the dark spot there. I am changing the shape of it a little, so I'm going to have to redraw a lot of this, I think. Oh yeah, that looks pretty okay. And then we just follow it all the way through. And that's perfect. Let's just clean up some of the edges a little bit here. Just a little. I think they're a little messy right there. I'm always very particular about trim on clothes. I don't know why. I don't think I really have to be, but I am. I don't know. I guess they just define the edge of something very, very clearly. And so I want to make sure that edge is actually where I think it should be, as opposed to just in some arbitrary spot. That's probably why I'm so particular about it. I think that they offer lots of information. Just lots and lots of information. Okay. Yeah, and we're almost to the bottom on this one already, because there's just less to draw on this side. And yeah, I think I can do one row of frills. Let's help out my future self. Let's help out the me of next week, and make it so she has a few less frills to draw. So I'll do the very ones at the very, very top. And I am sure that'll make my future self very happy, because she won't have to draw those frills. They will just be done. And then she can draw the rest with, maybe a slightly more mild madness to it. Let's see, I still think this is a little thin right through here. I want it to make sure it's about that thick. There we go. That's a bit better. This one here, definitely way too thick, but that's fine. That's why I'm here. To fix it. Okay. Alright, and once I bring this back up, this should look pretty good. Hell yeah. Let's see. I made this one a little bit too thick. It's okay, this is why we check. This is why I check to make sure that I am satisfied with where it all is before I move on to the next thing. Very important. But yeah, I made that one just a little bit too thick. What about you? Are you a little bit too thick? Maybe slightly. Let's fix it. Let's just slim it down to size. Size that it should be. Because I said so. Okay, this one, I overdid it. I overcorrected this one. So it's really, really thick. There we go. And this one's pretty thick too. I just want to make sure they're about the same thickness as the other side. And there we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, and now I think that they're looking pretty good. So I'll leave that there, and I don't think I want to shade the skirt until I do have all those frills done. So yeah, let's do this top row, and that'll be the last thing I do for today. I am ready. I say it. I am ready. Truly, I am. But, oh my god. It's a lot of frills, okay? I'm scared. I'm really scared. But it's okay. We'll do it one row at a time. Let me see. I think I want them at 100% opacity while I'm trying to smooth out the edges here, because otherwise I'm gonna be here all day and it'll be awful. Let's see. For these ones here, I think I want to have the slightly darker color, and I'm also gonna get rid of the glitter underneath these guys. And I'm not gonna worry about the exact shape of this right now. I am only gonna do the top row. I am not gonna do this yet. That'll be for future me. Future me can deal with it. Future me's got this. I believe in her. Okay, so we have the little shadow there. These are mostly square frills, so I don't want to overdo it on the lighting. That's just not really how square frills work. They have a little bit of a different kind of shadow scheme compared to some other frills, and just due to the nature of how this is all gonna work, I'll probably have to do the inside and the outside at the same time. I always kind of hate doing that, but I think it's necessary here. And I want to keep the shadow here really, really thin, because we don't see that side of the pleat here. We don't see it at all. What we see is just that there's a slight, like, cast shadow almost between this frill and this frill, just due to how they're overlapping. Okay. And I'm just kind of faking it on the shadows, admittedly. I think it's fine. I only kind of know how the shadows work here, but I think it is convincing enough that nobody's gonna think that things look wrong. And that's what's important. Okay, this actually isn't going too bad. Yeah, my past self actually did a pretty good job of getting this started. So, you know, just like what I was saying when I was working on getting the shapes right and making sure that the structure was the way that I wanted. It's like, yeah, I did a good job, so now... So that my future self would have an easier time, and would you look at that? I am now the future self, and I'm having an easier time, so you know what? Thank you, past self. Thank you very much, you made these frills less hellish. Maybe I can do more than one row. We'll help out my future self even more. We'll pass on the goodwill to my future self even further. So huzzah. This is why you gotta be kind to your future self. Work just a little bit harder, so your future self has an easier time. Your future self will appreciate it. Be kind to your future self today. Oh, I have the two the same color. Let's not have that. Okay. I'm having trouble getting some of these to kind of straighten though. There we go. Okay. So now we can continue on here, and once again, I don't really picture the pinky pushing too hard into this. It's pushing a little bit though. So I will put a little fold coming out of it, but it's not pushing that hard. It's just like lightly bumping it. Enough for this kind of shape though, I think. There we go. And then you'll kind of come down into here. So yeah, kind of working the inside and the outside at the same time. A little bit different from how I would normally do it, but that's okay. The situation calls for it. Okay, and then the next one, and I'll deal with the cast shadow from the hand after I finish this row. And same with the cast shadow from the belt. Because there will be a little bit of one. But I just want to get all of this defined before I start dealing with that. Okay, this wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, so that is awesome. Because, oh man, was it absolute frill hell when I did the first pass earlier. It took a while, and it was very monotonous, and my brain just... Well, you know, it was a repetitive and tedious thing, so it was going slightly insane. But I made it through, and this wasn't bad at all. I was expecting it to be way more like that. Brains like to exaggerate things. They're very silly. Never listen to your brain. It's stupid. Stupid and stinky. Doesn't know what it's talking about. Okay, so let's see. This one I kind of want to flip up a little bit more because the hand is pushing into it. So make this part a little bit thicker and the shadow a little bit more like this. And then this guy here, this down frill, will be a little bit further down. And that, if I put another shadow through there, that should express the hand putting a little bit of pressure on the frill there. So I think that looks pretty okay. Okay, and then I can get that little cast shadow that I think should be there. But only down to about there. And this I think I can just put completely in shadow and not worry about it. Wonderful. I think the frill's a little bit big, so I need to lift this part up just a little, but that's okay. The rest will be in shadow, and there we go. That is that row sand cast shadows. You know what? I'll go ahead and do those cast shadows now. It's pretty close, so it's not going to be a very big one. And this is right up against the belt, so it's just going to be a nice, lovely little straight line right here. Nothing to it. And then where it's sticking up a bit, like here, I do think we get little folds like this. So I will vary that up a little bit, but, you know, still easy peasy. Okay, I'm gonna go do the ones on this side then. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to get this guy here. I told myself that I wasn't going to do that today, but then it ended up being really easy, so let's just get him. Let's just do it. I really don't think it's going to be that big a deal. Brain's just panicking for no reason, as it is prone to do. It's okay, my past self was on point, so... And I want the frills to be slightly angled this way. I don't think I captured that very well here, so I'm going to kind of fix it up a little bit. And if that was a down frill, then you are an up frill. So we'll shape you a little bit more like this. Oh yeah, that looks pretty nice. And then you, right here, are going to dig into up there a little bit more. And we'll see the side here. Okay, and there we go. I think that's all I gotta do for there. I want this one to be a little bit bigger, though. Okay. Just smoothing out the edges just a little bit more, and then I can lock the layer and just handle the rest. Okay, so how are the shadows on this one going to shake out? I think we see a little bit here, And I want to make sure that this black, really, really black part is the right width. Right now I think it's a little bit too thick. So I think I'm actually going to take care of him first. These guys are pretty close together, so I don't want that cast shadow to be very big. But now I can pretty freely drop the shadows in. Okay. So we see a lot of the side of this frill right here, so I'm making this one nice and big. Because that's what he represents. And then I think we see something like this. I think that looks pretty good. I don't like how these line up quite so perfectly, but I think it's fine. I don't really want to fix it, so... It doesn't bother me enough to fix it, but if I was paying more attention, I wouldn't have let that happen. Oh well. Such is life. Okay. And then once I finish smoothing out all of these folds, that'll do it for there, and we can finally do this side. And I don't think it's gonna be that bad. Can I do it in 10 minutes? You know what? I actually think I can. Awesome. Oh, wait. I need to get a cast shadow from this, too. Boop. And, boop. Boop. Sound effects are important. There we go. Okay, no, I didn't miss a spot there. Alright. Back to what I was doing. But yeah, that side is completely done now. Let's go ahead and add the super dark shadow here as I define where the edges of these things are happening. And this is just the back side, so I'm actually going to hide it for now, just so I don't get myself confused. And I'll make sure to very, very clearly define the edge there. It'll look better that way. Okay, and I think I want this one to be a little thinner right there. This will affect the one below it, but that's okay. I'll be defining that today too, so it works out. We'll define them together. Sounds good to me. Okay, and then I can use this dark shadow to kind of show the general location of this guy right here. Okay. And let's get some shadows in there. So I think we see something like this here. We see the side. It kind of will connect up into this guy here. So this is why I'm kind of doing both of this at the same time, because gotta do a little bit of this for things shaped like that. Alright. And then just a little bit of light cleaning here. And a fold. And bigger fold. There we go. I had a vision, okay? I wanted to make sure it looked like the way I thought it should. There we go. And let's see, over here. Let's get this defined really, really well. Shape of my dreams. The shapes are great. And I'll go ahead and get this guy in too while I'm here. I actually think that this one is a little bit too small, and this one's a little bit too big, so I can kind of fix it like that. I actually think that this one in the back already looks pretty good, so I'll just soften some of those points so that this way it's not quite so pointy. But I already think that one looks pretty good. So let's get this guy here. And I don't like that shape. There we go. That's better. Okay. And now this guy should come a little further over. There we go, and I think those are slightly better sizes. In fact, I think I might let this guy end a little bit earlier, and we'll have another situation like what I have up there, where we just see like half of this guy. Maybe just a little bit more, just so it doesn't overlap the edge of the skirt quite so awkwardly. Yeah, that's a bit better. And then we see your side right here, and you'll go up into that, just like this. Looks pretty good to me. So now I just gotta smooth things out and connect them, and would you look at that? It only took me about 5 minutes to finish the whole thing. I knew 10 minutes would be enough time. My brain was just being silly. Doing the frills isn't gonna be so bad at all. So maybe next time I will start with the hand. Let's do something that'll actually be hard. As opposed to, something simple and straightforward like this. We'll see how I feel. Feeling a little bit overly square, so I'm just gonna round them just a little bit here. They are square frills, but that doesn't mean they have to be like a perfectly boxy. That's not how square frills work. Okay, now all that's left is to fix the really dark black shadow here. It's a little small. I want it to cast just a little bit more. Okay. Shadow from the belt and the other cast shadows. Okay, I do have a cast shadow from the hair over here. Okay. Just making sure I don't miss anything. But there we go. Let's see, I think I want to change the shape of this just a little bit here. Just make it look a little bit more convincing, because certain parts of the frill is going to stick up a little bit more than others. And this kind of thing will help a little bit. Just so that they don't look quite so flat. There we go. And there we go. There's the start of some frills. I'll just leave them at 100% opacity for now, but I do want to put the other layers back on. Yeah, so far so good. So, wasn't quite able to finish the skirt today, but that's okay. I did the hard part. So finishing it off should be pretty easy. And I'd say her upper body, sans arm over here, is done. Until science. Until trim, actually, more accurately, but yes. So, I think it's decent enough progress. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been working pretty hard on it. And getting that skirt was definitely not easy, but I really like it. It looks so much cooler now that it's not just random blobs on the page, so I am pleased. Oh yes, I suppose we'll stop here, so thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all Yeah, next week, Thursday, more programming. Let's go find someone to raid. Let's see, who's here today? Who is here today? Do we have any VTubers drawing? We do, actually. So let's see. There's actually quite a lot. Awesome. I got lots of choices. Yeah, sure. Let's do this person. Looks like she's doodling. Oh. Okay, or not. Okay. Okay, Twitch says no. Okay. Alright, that's someone else. I'll see you guys later.